Is this the most high-performance soft top ever created? Could this be the board that gives you the perfect amount of drive and maneuverability to unlock your turns? Stay tuned and follow me on my journey as this board blows my mind. Let's go! The Middie, made by SoftTec, available at Bearwire Surf Shop in Spring Lake, New Jersey. It's the night before a swell, and I'm setting this new board up, and I'm super psyched to try it out. Still in the packaging. This is a SoftTec epoxy. I'll show you. Epoxy series. I got some wax on the outside. Don't pay attention to that. But epoxy series. So basically, this is an epoxy surfboard wrapped in foam. Pulled in tail, round nose. And, I'm stoked. Here's the specs right here. It's called the Middie. Available at Bearwires. It's firm. It's a firm soft board. So this board uses the FCS2 fin system, the 2-tab. This will probably be my board for like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 foot high waves. So yeah, it's good that it has a real fin system, so you can put real fins in it. I think it makes a huge difference with soft tops. Wider nose and waist keeps this board up on top of the water. Plenty of rocker in the nose helps you gliding and stops from the board from purling. I can't read. Drawn in tail with ample rocker out the back lets you whip this board around with ease. Okay. Slick bottom, lightweight core, timber stringer, flat vacuum glass, high density foam deck. We're psyched. So here's the fins that I'm putting in here. FCS2 fins. These are larges, I believe. FCS2 fin system, it can be kind of tough to get in sometimes, but I think it works well. I just use something soft to put over the fin, like as I'm putting them in. Perfecto. I have trouble getting one in. I'll just put something soft over it, press down, and then put it all in. Dude, this looks sick. What? Matches the guitar too. The leash plug is a little different. It looks like this. Different than some of the other SoftTec boards. Got this little metal thing here, and obviously you put your leash string under there. The next day we had a fun south swell roll in. I didn't get any video of the session, but I was lucky enough to get some photos. It wasn't a super strong swell, but it did have a little bit of size, so it was a good day to try out a new board. So I made it out into the lineup, and it was pretty easy to catch a wave because of how floaty the board was. And the board was surprisingly maneuverable because of the pulled in tail and the real fins on it. I was about 220 pounds when these photos were taken, and the board is 45.5 liters. And as you can see, I'm able to do some turns on the wave. If I had a smaller board, these waves might have not been enough push for me to like really get enough speed to do turns. This was just the beginning of the session, but I surfed for about 5 or 6 hours, and I got a lot of little fades and cutbacks in. It's nice to have the little extra glide, like from the foam and just, I think, the shape of the board, because when you have a little extra speed in the beginning, I think it's easier to start doing maneuvers, especially if you're a little heavier and you're surfing on waves that really aren't that long. Now, my one gripe with mid-lengths, and I guess this board included, is that like you lose some paddle power by making the board a little smaller than a long board, but you still can't really duck dive it fully. So in a scenario that would involve a lot of duck diving, I'd probably still grab one of my smaller boards, either my 6.0 SoftTec, or I have like a lost puddle jumper. One of the most surprising things about this board is that when I took it to a spot that has steeper and faster waves, I thought that it would be a little harder to use. But I found that actually the extra paddle power in the beginning allowed me to really pop up earlier and set myself up for a steeper wave. And the board has enough rocker, so I wasn't nose diving or catching an edge while trying to enter that steeper section. My little cover-up pocket ride small barrel count since I've had this board has really gone up, so I'm super psyched about that. So in this session I'm about to show you, the waves were, I think, perfect for this board. I had a super fun time. It wasn't crowded, and as you can see, I'm just doing some little carves and the wave is just peeling. For me, I really think this board is for these like small to medium sized conditions, but not too small. Just really not too small and not too big. Here's the first couple waves of a session. That was pretty fun. I thought the waves were pretty ideal on this day for this board. One thing I will mention is that this board needs a little bit softer wax than you would put on a normal board. And on this session, I slipped a couple times because the water had gotten colder and I was just using the appropriate wax. But because of the way the foam is on the surface, I think it just works better and is less slippery with a softer wax. Another feature of this board that I thought was pretty interesting is that because it's epoxy inside, it's super, super light. I would say it's definitely probably the lightest surfboard that I own, even though it's not the shortest surfboard that I own. In the water, the board does feel very light. Like it feels maneuverable and it feels like it's just kind of hovering above the water. And as you can see here, the wave is pretty small and pretty weak, but I'm still able to generate quite a bit of speed. As if I was on one of my slightly smaller boards, yes, I could probably pop up and yes, I could probably pump down the line, but it wouldn't be as effortless, and I think I would miss some of these waves that I was able to get on this board. And for me, having a board like this in the quiver is important, I think, because some days it's not really that big, but I feel like trying turns and getting in practice for those days where I'll have a larger wave face. And in a place like New Jersey, we don't really get quote-unquote good waves that often, but we do have a lot of subpar waves. So I think it's about making the most of the conditions and having boards that allow you to really feel good and be able to flow like with the conditions of that day. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video with this wave here. Let me know, would you guys try out this board? Have you guys ever ridden a Midlength, or have you ever heard of an epoxy soft top? Let me know in the comments. If you guys are liking the content, please like and subscribe, and check out my Instagram at Bubba Digital Surf. Thanks for watching.